We want to bring in Chase Martin. He is the Legal Affairs Director at the Foundation for Government Accountability. Chase, how are you?
I'm doing great, Tim. Thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Tim is on vacation, but you're speaking with Chris and Nick Schroer, who's on the other microphone with me. But so glad you're with us.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
No problem. I met you or not you specifically, but a representative of your group a couple of weeks ago in Florida. My organization, Americans for Citizens Voting, is working on election integrity issues along with your organization and many others. And, what I'm involved in, I was kind of shocked that there were non-citizens voting. But this executive order that Joe Biden has issued is mouth-dropping. Tell the audience a little bit what it is.
So this is a pretty scary executive order that Biden signed back in early March of last year. And it's an executive order that allows federal agencies to use their agency facilities and resources. Basically, the whole entire federal government was leveraged to come up with a plan that they then presented to Susan Rice to impact state elections and federalize elections. So they want to take control away from states themselves in a completely partisan manner.
What does the agricultural department have to do with registering people to vote or any other of the executive agencies? And is this unprecedented? Has anything like this ever happened before?
So, no, that's a great question. And it's important to go to the source of the executive order itself. They don't really talk about this on the White House's website, but this entire executive order was drafted by a third-party group called Demos. They're this massively left organization that thinks voter registration is racist and a terrible thing to have people actually register to vote. But they drafted this whole plan last year, and they were all hired and put into the White House. And 7 days after they went in, this executive order comes out. So it is a telegraphed plan to singularly use the federal government to impact conservative states that they can't otherwise, tell what to do, like it's New York or California.
Now, you caught me off guard here. We're speaking with Chase Martin, the Legal Affairs Director at the FGA, Foundation for Government Accountability. You caught me off guard with the statement that voter registration is racist. What? Just entertain me. How is it racist? What are the Democrats saying?
It's so hard for me to do. It's some of the stuff you read on there, it's like something out of Marx, or it's pure fantasy. Data. There's algorithmic racism going on. There's these folks are just saying that voting is itself and voter registration are all tools to actually stop people from voting. Right. So everyone that comes across the border, everyone in every city, they don't think there should be any registration requirements at all. It should just be a free-for-all, which is crazy.
So we're seeing this influx in the illegal immigration in our country. We're seeing the Biden administration doing nothing about it. A couple weeks ago, the Biden administration, with other executive orders, came out and said that he's losing his patience with us. And Katie, today, I know we pulled a sound clip from Biden. I wanted to get your take on this, Chase. Biden administration, Joe Biden himself came out moments ago to say this.
The meteor is headed to crash into our economy. Democrats are willing to do all the work stopping it. Republicans just have to let us do our job. Just get out of the way. If you don't want to help save the country, get out of the way so you don't destroy it.
I think organizations like the FGA, the Foundation for Government Accountability, Chris, myself, and others want to save this country. We don't want it to see it fall in the hands of Marxists and socialists that are wanting to basically tear down everything that has made this country great. What is your reaction to that statement from Joe Biden in the wake of these executive orders and the report that you had just published recently?
It's a little shocking for them to say the quiet part out loud.
Right.
It reminds me of some type of tyranny. It's government by decree, and it's very un-American. Just get out of the way and do as you're told from your liberal overlords is not something that I think any American identifies with. And it's pretty scary stuff coming from the president.
We're speaking with Chase Martin. He is the Legal Affairs Director at the Foundation for Government Accountability. Chase, I just want to ask you, how did this executive order get on your radar screen? I'm sure the Biden administration didn't want this too public, and they thought they could do this under the radar screen and basically incorporate the executive branch in the government as a arm of the Democratic Party. I mean, how did you guys find out about this?
So, no, that's great to ask because we are very focused. The Foundation for Government Accountability and our website's thefga.org. We are very dedicated with a team of over 12 lawyers now, just tracking all of the executive orders, agency regulations, agency guidance, everything that Biden is doing to bully states. And to that end, we created a new project called the Biden Bully Project, where we go around the country basically meeting with attorney generals, governors, and state legislators to give them the information. We just pass the information along. This is what they're doing, and this is why it's illegal or wrong.
Chase, Nick Schroer here. I know you all were instrumental. You were key in informing voters and informing certain legislators this year on the Medicaid expansion and how that breached the Constitution here in the state of Missouri. Now we have the Attorney General getting ready to go one-on-one with the Biden administration again once these executive orders that were spoken about just weeks ago on the mandates. Is the FGA preparing to team up with the AJ like you all did with Medicaid expansion on these new executive orders? And what future plans do you all have to address that nationwide?
So we are meeting with attorney generals and General Schmidt in Missouri and other attorney generals to give them as much information as possible. We're also engaging through amicus brief, public documents. We're publishing as much materials as we can, gathering research, but we're doing everything we can to assist the Republicans and conservative side really just push back against this massive effort by Biden and his cronies to take total control and have government by decree.
Right.
This executive order itself, if I could say nothing else, is nothing more than it's a get out the vote effort disguised with vague language designed to empower liberals. Right. That's it. That's the bottom line. And that's what they're going to continue to do because they're losing in the courts and they don't have a leg to stand on with the DOJ anymore. The lawsuit in Georgia with the elections is probably they're going to lose big there. They try to bring it on against Texas. They're going to lose there as well. And FGA is standing up and fighting back against them in both of those states as well to support the great work Republicans and conservatives are doing.
Chase, my partner is too modest to mention it. He's a state representative who received an award from the FGA for his great work, and he's also a fellow attorney as you are. So he's got a question for you.
More disturbing news has come out. I think it was last night when I returned home from this amazing show. I saw reports that the Mayor Garland is calling on the FBI to counter these supposed threats from parents, stating that parents that don't want indoctrination and things like critical race theory and revisionist history being taught in their schools, calling on them to step down, have the FBI come in and work with law enforcement. Is there any concern to you or the FGA that this is, again, government overreach?
It is. It's government overreach. It's bullying and intimidation, plain and simple. They know they can't get away with any court action. So what they're doing is they're fluffing up with guidance, like they're using DOJ guidance and FBI guidance documents that don't have to go through any transparent rulemaking or have any notice and comment period, as you're aware of how that stuff works. Yep. They're just pushing it out, and they're trying to intimidate states, parents, any type of person involved, especially conservatives, into just bowing down. And what we're seeing is sometimes it's effective, but usually they lose when people stand up to them, right? So look at what happened in Arizona, for example. They sent out that letter to the Senate president saying, you cannot do this audit. We may investigate you for crimes. And they backed off it a little bit. I mean, this bullying tactic sometimes works, and it's pretty scary stuff.
Well, and that's what I have known in my short time in my legislative career since being elected in 2017, that standing up to the bullies and protecting, just showing them the Constitution usually gets them to back off. Chris?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Chase, we've got a couple of minutes left, but tell the folks about a little bit about FGA and what you guys do. You do have a Missouri connection here. As we stated earlier, you wrote the amicus curiae brief with the Supreme Court about our Medicaid expansion, and your government affairs director has a St. Louis connection. She's from a part of St. Louis that I'm from, Zoe Miller. She actually went to the same grade school as my daughter. So you guys are doing great work. Tell our audience a little bit about FGA.
No, that's great to hear. And, we're a nonprofit conservative think tank that is really focused on inspiring and working with legislatures, governors, attorney generals to get people back to work and to protect the American ideals that make our country great. So we're very focused on issues like elections, healthcare, welfare, and work, and just making sure that there's opportunities for people to have access to those things in a conservative way. So we're in 30 states right now. We've got a really big and dedicated and talented group. You mentioned Zoe. She's fantastic.
Yes,
and we just try to provide a resource and support for great allies like the representative who's done fantastic things there in Missouri.
Chase, how can the general public find more and stay up to date, whether it's social media, a website? How can we find more what you guys are doing with the FGA and stay up to date with you?
So there's two websites I'm going to give you. There's the FGA.org, which is our website. And if you want to stay updated on specific things that Biden is doing, go to BidenBully.com. We've got a website loaded, ready, and we'll be posting a lot of activity there for you.
BidenBully.com. I love that, Chase.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? It's going to stick because that's all he's got now. And you can see it with his latest statement that you played for me. He told everyone to get out of his way. Yeah. Well, we're not going to do that.
I appreciate you being with us, Chase. I hope this won't be the last time that you join the Tim Jones and Chris Arps show. Have a great day and weekend when it comes.
Thanks. Thank you for having me.
Excellent.